Okay, so guys, Institute of Wow is our business. Thank God this damn thing's working. These are the clients that we've had over the years. And the only reason, I guess this is the show-off slide, so that at least if you're going to give up an hour of your time or near enough that this evening as you have a wine or a coffee or a beer, then at least you know you're talking to someone who's messed around with some of these sorts of businesses. So therefore, we've got a reasonable list of, high-level brands, and I've been providing this incentive-based marketing to these people for some time. Smaller businesses, we've looked after with my business, the Institute of Wow. We look after providing what we call direct response tactics to all those sorts of businesses. I won't go through them, but you can see there's a whole bunch of them from different industries, and that's just a few and a few more. So if you're sitting there and what you see tonight, you go, oh, well, I don't know that that would work for my business. Have a look down that list there at the tree surgery. We've looked after tree surgeries. By the way, can I ask one of my team here, is my ugly face coming up in the corner?
No, you've just got the
I've got some other guy there at the moment who does not look like me. Can we bring me up, Don, if you don't mind? So, okay. No, it's not me. I've got, look, you're a very handsome gentleman, but someone's up in the corner of my screen. And oh, what a disaster. What a complete and utter disaster. If I ever have another webinar, do yourself a favor, do not register for it, because there's every chance in the world you're going to go through the same heartache that I'm going through at the moment. Don, are you able to fix that? Or okay, well, let me see. Don's just trying to get my ugly face up there instead of whoever's there at the moment. I don't know who that guy is, but he's probably on the call. I just think because I might want to show some things to the camera, it would be handy if I had my ugly face up there. Anyway, look, as we go, you can't do it? Okay, right. Righto, so get underway. What we, I guess, subscribe to in the direct response world is, I guess, a system that I put together 1,000 years ago, and I call it the Wheel of Wow. It's a wanky little name, I understand that, but it has 5 components to it. And you should be happy with that, because if you've been to as many seminars and webinars that I have, it scares me shitless when someone says, I've got a 26-part system. You go, oh my God, you know. So anyway, I don't know who the gentleman is on the top right-hand corner of your screen, but pretend it's me, okay? And what we're doing here is we're going through the 5 components. The first thing is you need to identify who your most profitable target audience is, because then you can just look for more people who look like them. And if you were selling wrinkle cream, for example, and it's a very, very expensive tube of wrinkle cream, then your target audience wouldn't be women. It would be women who live in the right suburbs, whose children go to a private school, who drives a Mercedes, and her husband has a CEO position. Okay, so and the lady is probably over the age of whatever, 40, 45. So therefore, it's about identifying who your most profitable target audience is, and then looking for more people who look like them. And you know what? As simple as that sounds, most businesses don't do it. The second component of these 5 steps is to create a wow factor, take their eyes off the price. So the whole idea of that is whether it's a McDonald's Happy Meal toy that takes your eye off the cost of the Happy Meal, or whether it happens to be the toy in the bottom of the cornflakes pack, the fact is you need to create a wow factor and take their eyes off the price. The third thing that you need to do if you're putting a marketing plan together for your products or services, in my opinion, is use the problem solution formula. And that is, I've got a headache, well, guess what? We've got Panadol. Simple as that. You've got to provide them with their problem and then give them the solution. Why are you on this webinar tonight? Because you must have seen one of my ads, or you got an email from me, or you saw one of the Facebook Lives where I said, look, if you're coming out of the COVID-19 thing and wanting to reboot your business, you've probably got a problem. And that problem is that you think that you're going to have to price discount to get market share. Well, I'm going to show you tonight how you don't have to price discount. So I give you your problem and then I provide the solution. The fourth component is be different online. Now that's just a nice way of me saying fix your ugly website. And the reason I'm betting that you might have an ugly website is because 90% of businesses that I've come in contact with have got an absolute shit website. It's been put together by a ponytailed, basically creative, who may be good at, devising pretty pictures, but if they don't understand direct response marketing, they don't have the right components on your homepage. And if you've got a pen with you at the moment, you might like to tick these off on your homepage of your website. Have a look at it. Not now, because I want you to concentrate on what I'm saying, but have a look at it. Do you have a problem solution headline right up front? I bet you don't. Do you have an establishment statement? And that is, you are voted the #1 restaurant in Brisbane, or whatever it might be? I bet you don't. Do you have an explain a video, a little 2 or 3 minute video explaining what the problems are of your target audience and how you can fix them cost effectively? I bet you don't. Do you have testimonials from some of your better customers? I bet you don't. Do you have a data capture facility on the homepage of your website? In other words, you give away a free report or free something in order to capture their data and then annoy them until they buy or die. I bet you don't, okay? You may have 1 or 2 of those components, but you may not have all of them. And there are more. So the thing is that in the world that I live in, website is so important, because these days it's the director of first impressions. You know that as well as I do. The girl that answers the phone is now number 2. And the 5th component of what you should be doing if you're putting a marketing plan together based on direct response is build repetitive trade. And the only way you can do that is collect data. By the way, I don't speak this fast normally. It's just that we lost 10 minutes up front. So therefore, I'm trying to get this done before midnight. Joking. Okay, we'll be finished by 11. So look, the thing is that repetitive trade is what we all want. We just don't want a sale. We want a client that's going to come back and back. Now, if you're selling a big ticket loan, so you're in the real estate game, or you might be selling a swimming pool, then that repetitive trade gets replaced by referrals, build referrals. But the fact of the matter is you cannot build repetitive trade unless you collect data, and no one in Australia collects data, and they wonder why Amazon is going to wipe them off the planet. Okay, you go into any restaurant when you're allowed to go back to restaurants, and you can spend $200, $300 in that restaurant, and they'll let you leave without asking your name and details. Crazy stuff. Okie dokie. So let me just take you through to what's happening at the moment. If you walk through any shopping center at the moment, you're going to see these ugly signs. Sale, with 50% off, 20% off. God, look at that one. 90% off, for God's sake, 80% off. This is not what you want to do, because it takes your brand from the penthouse to the shithouse without taking the elevator. Okay, you do not want to do this. And I know that things have been tough and you've got to turn stock into cash. I understand all of that stuff, but this is not the way to do it. I'm going to show you the way to do it. And it's called incentive-based marketing. And as I said before, these guys are experts at it. They've been doing this for 38 years. I know the inventors of the McDonald's Happy Meal toy, Norma and Trevor Rosenheim. They're friends of mine, and they invented the Happy Meal toy for McDonald's. They're Australians. And they've done very well out of helping McDonald's build their business over the years. And the whole idea of that Happy Meal toy is to take your eyes off the price. Look, this is incentive-based marketing, but in a very local sort of regional area version of it. And this is what we're all used to, and that is the coffee shops. Now, when the coffee shops, who are normally run by mum and pops, let's face it, okay, when they can come up with an incentive-based marketing concept, then for God's sake, you can. Okay. Now, the wrong thing about this particular coffee club card that you're looking at the moment, and most of them make this same mistake, what do you think they're missing? Can you put in the chat box? I'm hoping that Jan can tell me what the questions are in the chat box, but, and Jan, if you can't, would you be able to maybe, I don't know, could you, oh, there is a chat box?
Yep.
Okay. So therefore, I'm sorry you're looking at some guy up in the corner who is not
It's not showing on our screen.
It's not showing on your screen. It's showing on mine. I've got some guy up in the corner of my screen. Very good looking guy. And I wish I looked as good as him, but it's not me. Okay. Just in case you're thinking, oh, well, Jan's telling me because she's beside whoever's watching this webinar at the moment, they're only seeing the slides. Are they, Jan? They're not seeing the picture of me, of the person that pretends to be. What do you think? I will give, let me see, $1 billion, not million, but $1 billion, if you can tell me in the chat box what this coffee card is missing. By the way, it's monopoly money, but it's still $1 billion. Okay, so I'll hang around for a few seconds. Think about it. Look at that image on your screen at the moment. They are doing the right thing by getting you to buy X number of coffees and then get the 10th one for free. But what are they missing? Just type in that chat box. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a free book. I'll give you a free book. Now, you can't get, and the book is like a bestseller. I've sold 11 of them, by the way. So therefore, you know, it's a best-selling. Don't you love all these gurus that say they've got a New York bestseller? And you, oh, come on, mate. You've got a few friends to buy some books, for God's sake. Anybody in the chat box responding to that, Jan?
No details collected. What does that mean?
No details collected. You've just won $1 billion in monopoly money. Who was that, Jan, if you can ask? Karen Howe. Karen, you are a genius. Karen, if you... I'll tell you what I'll do, Karen. I will give you a $500 prize for that. Seriously, we have a product called the Wow Manifesto. And this Wow Manifesto is a 12 video tutorial on how to put together a marketing plan. And we sell it for $497. If you are good enough to give me your email address, I will get my office tomorrow to gift that to you. And seriously, I'm sarcastic so-and-so, but that is worth $497. So we'll send that off to you. You get the links and the passwords and all that sort of stuff. And I think you'll find it to be pretty good. That's what they're missing. They're missing data collection. I mean, they are suffering from dickheaditis because what they're doing is, 90% the right thing in terms of getting people to come back to the coffee shop and get the stamps to get the 10th one for free, but they're not collecting any data. So anyway, they're on drugs. Okay, these guys, they've been doing it for about 50 years, and you'll see, in every Kellogg's cornflakes box, they've got, giveaways of movie tickets, or they've got Toy Story giveaways, or whatever it might be. Harvey Norman, their incentive-based marketing is 50 months interest-free. So therefore, it's not a widget as such, but it's 50 months interest-free, which is pretty damn good. Prime, Amazon Prime, I should say, they launched with a massive, I guess, bonus giveaway some years ago. Well, I think it might have been last year. I don't think it's that long ago. And you'll see there that when you actually upgraded to Amazon Prime, you, as a bonus, you got instant streaming of movies and TV shows. You got instant access to Kindle books, and you got free 2-day shipping. And guess what? These are the results of it. In 2018, they revealed that over 100 million people had subscribed to the Prime membership plan. 100 million people. That's like, gosh, 50 million more that's on this webinar. Imagine if the webinar actually kicked off properly, Don. Can you imagine if we didn't have any mistakes? Goodness me. Then Prime members get a 2-day shipping, complimentary, with spelling mistake there with complimentary, but don't blame me. I've got people and they're bad. To Amazon Video and discounts. And then the strategy clearly works because a report from the Consumer Intelligence Research Partners revealed that Prime shoppers spend nearly $1,000 more than non-members. Now that's important. If you create a club atmosphere or reward program, you just watch what happens. They will spend more money with you than people who just come and go. I want to show you a B2B turf farm. Okay, so a lot of people say to me, look, does all this sort of incentive-based marketing just work for B2C, business to consumer? B2B, it can work as well, can work just as well. So this happens to be a client of mine some years ago. He was a turf farm in the Gold Coast. And so therefore he said to me, listen, what can you do to help me move turf? And I said, well, how much turf, as in grass, have you got? And I actually visited him, and he pointed to the mountain range to the left and to the mountain range to the right. He said, look, I've got about 6 kilometres worth of turf. I've got to move it so that I can replant for the next season. I went, wow, who's your target audience? Well, of course, it's landscapers, because mum and dads would buy maybe a backyard and a front yard's worth of grass, but a landscaper will buy 2 or 3 homes. And I said, okay, well, what do you think landscapers like? And he said, well, landscapers, I don't know, but you tell me. I said, they like beer, and they normally drink 4X or Foster's, but they'd love to drink the Wankers beer, which happens to be the beer that I actually drink. Don, who's here with me in my room. Don, do you drink the Wankers beer, Crown Lager?
No.
No, he drinks methylated spirits, so let's not worry too much about that. So therefore, the wanker beer, of course, the upmarket beer is this one. It's Crown Lager. And so therefore, really, at the end of the day, oh, good, so I'm up now, am I?
Yep.
Good, you got me in, terrific. So therefore, well, I don't have me up on my one, Don. It doesn't matter. Okay, I've got some foreign guy in the top right-hand corner of mine. You've got me. So you'll see on your screen at the moment that what we did is that we said, okay, well, let's buy a list of 500 landscapers. And you can do that through list brokers. I don't know whether you're familiar with that, but you can buy any list you want through list brokers, and you can get certainly their mail address and their phone number. And on the odd occasion, you can get their email. People are a little bit more private with their email. And you'll see on your screen at the moment that we did something completely out of the box, an incentive-based marketing offer. We said, listen, if you buy a home's worth of grass, which is the front yard and the backyard of a normal home would be 500 square meters, for every home that you buy, we're going to give you a carton of Crown Lager. Pretty damn good deal for a landscaper, I'll tell you. About 6 days after we launched this, in other words, we sent out that leaflet that you're looking at the moment to 250 landscapers, not to the 500 that we got the list of from a list broker. We sent out just half of them to see how it would work. I got a call from John Kelleher, the owner of ALC Turf, and he said, JD, we've got a problem. Now, when a client rings me up with that intro, I go, oh, shit. What did we do wrong? Because, not that I do anything wrong, but what did someone who worked for me do wrong? And he said, no, nothing wrong, mate. We've run out of grass. I said, what? He said, we've sent out only 250 of the leaflets and whatever emails they could send out, but landscapers tend to, open the mail more than their inbox. We've sold the whole 6 kilometres worth of grass. We have no grass left. I went, you've got to be joking. Now, even I, Mr. Show Off about his concepts, even I was flabbergasted. 6 kilometres worth of grass gone in 6 days. And I said to him, what are you doing then? He said, I'm buying grass from other turf farms to keep up with the demand for the beer. And he said to me, to give you an idea of just how successful this is, he said, I had one pain in the ass landscaper. They kept on ringing me over the last 6 months, asking me, what do we charge per square metre? I would say $5.50. He says, I can get it for $5.20 down the road. I'd drop to $5. He reckoned he could get it for $4.80 down the road, and so on and so forth. It was a race to the bottom. That guy rang him up the day before he rang me and said, I want 18 homes worth of grass. I don't care when the grass gets here. I want the 18 cartons of Crown Lager. By Friday, I've got a party. Now that's when the Happy Meal toy takes over. And this is the owner of the business. I'll let you hear it straight from him.
If you sell on price, you're always going to be, at the mercy of the guy down the street who wants to sell cheaper than you. So this was a value add type promotion, and it gave us that wow factor. So it's very simple, very effective. Well, I guess it certainly did instantly improve our sales for our turf at that point in time. The numbers were fantastic, really. We ended up ceasing the promotion for the other 250, which we didn't identify because we really ran out of turf. We were sourcing turf from other farms. This was an exceptional result for us. And look, the numbers speak for themselves. And we had a 40% increase immediately within that first month on those sales from the previous year for that same time frame. Very simple, but it worked very well. I guess it's a great result for us as a marketing campaign when we actually run out of the stock. Or I guess what a great result for any marketing exercise to have that sort of result. Yeah, look, we were looking for something different at the time when we employed JD to come and have a look at our business, and as his website, and he regularly says, you've got to look for that wow factor. Wow factor is king.
Okay, and what do you think I gave John for giving me that lovely testimonial? You got a carton of Crown Lager. I don't know why you're sticking with this. If I was you, after the Zoom problems that we had in that first 10 minutes and then the bad dad jokes, I would have left by now. Maybe the content's okay. What you're seeing on the screen at the moment is probably one of the top 2 customer attraction ideas I have ever ran in my career. And I'm 112 years of age, so I've run quite a few of these things. It is up there with the free holiday promotion. So therefore, my view is that if you're going to give an incentive to anyone, you should look for an incentive that is attractive to both sexes and various ages, 18 to 88. And there's only 2 things that fall into that category, in my opinion, and they are a free holiday and they are petrol discounts. Because if you said to me, look, buy something and I'll give you a lawnmower, I'd say, look, I don't want a lawnmower, I've already got one. Oh, we'll give you a refrigerator. I've got one in the kitchen, I've got one in the garage for my beer, I don't need another refrigerator. Oh, in that case, we'll give you a plasma TV or whatever they're called these days. No, look, I've got 3 TVs, and so on and so forth. You get my drift. But if I got down off the plane from a week in Fiji or the Gold Coast or wherever I was on holidays, and you gifted me with another trip to the Gold Coast, I'd just walk up the stairs and go back again. I can't get enough holidays. Likewise with petrol discounts. You see, the thing is, you cannot get enough petrol discounts. So let me tell you about this stunning case study. And I know that because I'm in the advertising world, you're going to hear words like juggernaut and stunning and record breaking and all that sort of stuff. But the reason I've got testimonials in this particular presentation is so you know that I'm not a wanker. Well, maybe a wanker, but I'm not a lying wanker. This is all fair income. This stuff that I'm showing you is absolute case studies. And these people have been kind enough to give me on the record, video testimonials because it's worked for them and we've made a bucket load of money for them. And I'm going to show you how you can swipe this idea and just run with it yourself. You don't have to pay me any money at all. If you want it done in a packaged format so that you can sit back and just watch it work, that's fine. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But you can just steal these ideas, okay? And run off and do it yourself if you so desire, and if you've got the time and the money. Now, this one here, I was looking after the Greater Building Society for a long while, and I eventually got Jerry Seinfeld to do their ads. But well before that, which was obviously a coup, we had a promotion running, get a home loan, get a free holiday. And it was going nuts. And at one stage, I decided that what I would add to it is a petrol discount offer as well. And you're seeing it on your screen right now. And that is, not only do you get a free holiday, but you get 10 cents a litre off your petrol for an entire year. Now, the Building Society general manager, when I took it into the boardroom one day and I said, that's what we're going to do, he said, look, well, we've got to go out and buy petrol stations. I'd had a few runs on the board by this stage. And so therefore, they basically, if I told them to stand on their head, they probably would have. But he said, do we have to buy petrol stations? Because if we have to, then we will. I said, no. Now, the Greater Building Society, so you know, is in the Fortune 500. They're the 252nd biggest business in Australia. Now, they're not the Commonwealth Bank, and that's why we had to do these sorts of incentive-based promotions to distinguish ourselves from the Big Four. But nonetheless, they're a pretty big business. Now, you'll see here, this was a newsletter that we put out to like 100,000 homes around all of the areas that they had their branches in. Obviously, it was a fake newsletter, but you can see there that it was made out to look like a newspaper. Petrol prices slashed by 10 cents a litre. Let me tell you what happened. I said to the Building Society, look, if someone from a mortgage broker background gives you a $500,000 home loan, then what do you pay them? And they said, oh, well, we pay, you know, a $2,000, $2,500 commission. I said, okay, I'll show you how to get that same $500,000 home loan from Betty Bankstown or whoever it might be, and it's only going to cost you $260. Well, of course, they were all ears because they knew I was a show off. They said, well, what's this all about? I said, well, what you'll do is that you'll give them this. I'll come back to that. You'll give them 10 cents a litre off their fuel every week for an entire year, up to 50 litres. Okay, now Woolworths only lose 34 litres. I used to be in the national marketing role at Woolworths. I still know quite a few people there. Despite the fact they give up to 80 litres, they only lose 34 because we're all driving small cars. So let me just come back to that slide again. The maths are that if you give 10 cents per litre fuel discount to someone every week, and there's a maximum of 50 litres, then each week it'll be $5. 10 cents multiplied by 50 litres is $5 rebate. Multiply that by 52 weeks, and it cost the Building Society $260 to acquire a $500,000 home loan. Now, let's get back to that slide. They were paying mortgage brokers $2,000 to $2,500 for a $500,000 loan. I showed them how to get the same loan by offering the actual customer 10 cents a litre off their fuel discount. Let's go back to that again. 10 cents a litre every week for an entire year. Now that sounds like it's a fortune. So it's a psychological game, no doubt, and so is all advertising. But guess what? At the end of the day, it just simply cost the Building Society $260 to acquire a $500,000 home loan. Do you think that they thought I was a gift from heaven? Yes, they did. Okay. How would you like to sell a $500,000 product and pay just $260 to get the customer? Now I'm going to show you how, but only if you show some love. Could someone, Jan, I'm going to ask them, could you just maybe type something into the chat box and say, JD, we're enjoying this, or JD, you're a dickhead, or JD, we want more, or something, but preferably, see, it's not like Facebook where there's love hearts, but let me know if you're actually getting some value out of this, would you? Okay. Now, the thing I have to say to you is that the incentive-based marketing is all about making sure that we take the prospect's eyes off the price. And you'll notice in the Greater Building Society ads that I just showed a moment ago, and I'm about to show you some more, they didn't mention price. They didn't mention an interest rate. It's all about taking the eyes off the price. It was get a home loan and get 10 cents a litre every single week for an entire year, 10 cents a litre fuel discount. Indeed, the Greater Building Society never advertised a price for 11 years. Because they ran this incentive-based marketing, there was the free holiday and then there was the petrol offer. Not once in 11 years did they ever advertise an interest rate. Can you believe? That was just crazy. They're the only bank in the world that for 11 years never, ever, ever marketed on price. It was just simply get a home loan, get a free holiday, or get a home loan, get 10 cents a litre every week to fuel discount. This is one of their TV ads, and if I do say so myself, this was one that lit up the switchboard. This was just at smack. The moment we put this on, it just went nuts.
He doesn't realise yet, but when you get your home loan from the Greater Building Society, you save 10 cents a litre on your petrol.
Swap your home loan to the Greater and not save on bank fees and get a free holiday. You save 10 cents a litre on your petrol. That's 10 cents a litre on top of any supermarket discount you might get from any petrol station in Australia for a whole year. So swap your home loan to the Greater and start saving on your petrol now. Call 1313 86.
I'll never forget it. We actually tested that ad in Wollongong to start with. Now, the Greater Building Society, if you happen to be in a capital city, they are regionally based throughout the east coast of Australia. So you're talking your Wollongongs and your Newcastles and your Port Macquaries and your Graftons and your Gold Coast, right? We tested. We always would do a beta test in one particular area before we would go national. And when we played that TV ad, and on social media, the same thing, in Wollongong, wait for it, not a 10% increase, not a 20% increase, a 118% increase in their home loans within 4 days. So we're talking about turning the tap on. These concepts that I'm showing you here tonight, which I guess you can call the Happy Meal toy concepts, they have the ability to turn the tap on immediately for you. And if you're about to relaunch your business because we've all been locked up for a couple of months, then my view is that this is the stuff that can make a huge difference for you. And if you don't use our services, that's fine. Just pitch some of these ideas and try and do it yourself. That's fine. This is one of the other fuel ads that we ran at the time, both on Facebook and on TV.
Would you like a free holiday and 10 cents a litre savings on your petrol? Well, swap your home loan to the Greater and not only do you save on bank fees and get a free holiday, you save 10 cents a litre on your petrol. That's 10 cents a litre on top of any supermarket discount you get from any petrol station in Australia for a whole year. So, start saving. Call the Greater on 13 86.
I think you can see that psychologically they're pretty clever ads. If I do say so myself, I wrote all those ads, by the way. Okay, Wiggly Tail Butcher. I want to show you another example of someone who's actually using. I've got a message here. The link was missing a number. What's that mean?
Number at the end of the link. There's a number 3 missing off the end. For people
What's that
to get
mean?
in.
Oh, so therefore, what okay. So there's some people who couldn't make it because the intellectually challenged people that I've got working with me put the wrong link out there. Okay, as I said, it's a bit like going on stage and the microphone doesn't work. You're tapping it, testing. Anyway, Wiggly Tail Butcher. This guy, Kerry Buttsworth, his name is, has ended up being a very good friend of mine. He ran the petrol promotion for his butchery business in Port Macquarie, and what happened there is that you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen, what we do is that these days we say to people, look, run a Facebook campaign and drive traffic from that Facebook campaign into a landing page, and then the landing page collects their data. And of course, then you know what the next step is, you sell stuff to them. Now, let me just show you a close-up of what happened with the left-hand side there, which is the Facebook ad. Now, this is how we would explain to you to run any incentive-based marketing. Now, whether it's Facebook or whether it's Instagram, or whether it's LinkedIn or whether it's Pinterest, you have to make up your mind depending upon what your products or services are. But let me show you a close-up of the Facebook ad. Let me put my specs on to read it. You'll see how clever this is. Enjoy 10 cents per litre fuel discount on us right now. Simply click the link below and you'll be able to grab your 10 cents per litre savings voucher immediately. No catches, no contest. Just go to that link. Once you register, we'll immediately forward you an email, which you then simply bring into our butcher store to collect your complimentary 10 cents per litre discount. Then get more fuel discounts of 10, 20, 50 cents up to $1 when you buy your meat from Wiggly Tail. Say goodbye to the modest 4 cents per litre you get from Woolworths. Now you can enjoy up to 25 times better. For every $50 you spend in the one transaction, you get 10 cents fuel discount. So if you spend $100, you get 20 cents, spend $150, you get 30 cents and so forth. We'll give you a 10 cents per litre savings voucher for every $50 in the same transaction. Get your fuel from any petrol station in Australia, okay, anywhere, and upload a photo of your fuel receipt to Facebook Messenger and we'll pay the cash straight into your bank account. Now, what happens is that people would play that ad, and I'll play the ad for you in a moment, but when they click that ad, they go through to a landing page, and that landing page says to them, yes, I'd like to get that voucher that entitles me to get 10 cents per litre fuel discount. We tell them what they fill the form in. They'll receive an email that they can take into the butcher store and get the first voucher for free. You'll see what the vouchers look like on the left-hand side there. I'll tell you more about how that works in a second. But basically, they walked into his store, they got that voucher, and they went off and got their petrol wherever they wanted to get the petrol from. So therefore, they could go to any petrol station in Australia, and they ended up getting their fuel discount. I'll tell you more how that works in just a moment. But this is what the Facebook ad looked like. This is a video ad.
Wiggly Tail Butchery not only has the finest meats, now they have the finest fuel discounts.
For every $50 you spend, you get 10 cents a litre fuel discount. So if you spend $150, you get 30 cents. $200, you get 40 cents a litre fuel discount. Try getting that at the supermarkets.
Why would I get my meat from the supermarket when the maximum fuel discount I'll get would be 4 cents a litre? For every $50 I spend, I get 10 cents a litre off my fuel.
Wiggly Tail, Port Macquarie, Laurington and Lakewood Shopping Centre, or go to wigglytail.com.au.
Okay, I wish I could bring me up full screen, but because I'll show you how it all works. But let me just explain to you how that works is that when you see that, if someone spent $50, they got 10 cents a litre off their petrol, keep in mind they could go out to any petrol station. They could actually just fill up their tank, and up to 50 litres, we, or Wiggly Tail, would give them 10 cents a litre fuel discount. So 10 cents a litre multiplied by 50 litres is $5. $5 is a percentage of the $50 that they spend at the butcher is 10%. If they spend $100, then they got two 10-cent vouchers. Remember, I'll go back to that voucher. Let me just show you, okay? So there's that voucher there. Let me see, give me a second. Okay, back to that. Those vouchers that you see there, you'll see that voucher whether it's digital or whether it's real, give you 10 cents a litre of your petrol up to 50 litres. So if you spend $100 in his butcher shop, you got 2 of those vouchers, which meant you got 20 cents if you want to claim 20 cents. Multiplied by 50 litres is $10. $10 as a percentage of the $100 is 10%. If you spend $200, then you got 4 of those vouchers because there's 4 lots of $50 in 200, which means 4 lots of 10 cents. You could go out and fill up your tank, and then you could claim 40 cents a litre. Well, 40 cents a litre multiplied by 50 litres is going to be $20. $20 as a percentage of the 200 is 10%. So you see how clever this is. I know I'm patting myself on the back, but I think it's a very clever scheme, and that's why it's made a lot of the money for these people. Kerry, by the way, lives for half the year now, maybe not at the moment because of the situation, but he lives on his 42-foot yacht in the Whitsundays and rings me and says, I'm ringing you, JD, from your yacht that you bought for me. Because I think he gave me, over the period of that particular year, the program, I think he paid me $9,000 or something like that. And he went from 3 million to 4.2 million in turnover and bought himself a yacht. So I hate him. Anyway, let me just show you what he's got to say.
Well, that's just an unbelievable part of this program. Our turnover's gone from 3 million to well over 4 million in the last 12 months. Our turnover's gone up that much because of the Fuel for Less program. People just keep coming back. The average sale per customer has gone up through the roof. Those guys over there, they're not overly happy with me, but, we love it. We stick it right up them every week.
Okay, pretty happy camper. Okay, did very well over 3 million to 4.2 million. Before I show you how you can do it for your business, I thought I'd show you a few other businesses that have been using this. This happens to be a pizza company, of course. You can see what I've got down there that, new way of loyalty and upsell. So for every $50 you spent with that pizza shop, in the one transaction, by the way, you got yourself 10 cents a litre. Now, what do you think happens if the home delivery, let's say we were ordering a pizza and it came in at $41, but I knew that if I got $50, then I would get 10 cents a litre off my fuel. I think I'm going to spend I'm sorry, we've got someone butting in there. It looks like someone wants to be the host. I don't know whether you've had this in your webinars, if you've ever done any, but I just want to drive to Bunnings and buy some rope because last time we did one of these, someone actually came in and took over as the host. So they ran the webinar. It was Betty Bankstown. I don't know where she came. Well, I do know where she came from, Bankstown. This is real estate agents. So what they've been doing is using the fuel discount to get listings. And you'll see there's a couple of advertisements, 20 cents a litre every week for a year. If you give me your home to list. I know that we had a few real estate agents who registered for this event. I don't know whether they're on. And if you are on and you're a real estate agent, type in the chat box and just tell me that you're on because we've got some special stuff that we can actually provide to you. In the real estate instance, what they're saying to a potential vendor is that, listen, if you actually list your home with Fred Merckx down the road, you'll just basically, I guess, hope that he sells it. You list with us and we'll give you 20 cents a litre fuel discount every week for a year. Now, 20 cents multiplied by 50 is $10. $10 multiplied by 52 weeks is $520. They would be most real estate agents would be happy to pay $520 for a listing, knowing full well that when they sell the house, they're going to pick up $10 or $20 or $30,000 in commission. So that's how that works. I thought I'd show you another one here. That was another real estate agent doing the same thing in a paper. I think that might have been, I forget what state that was. This guy here, Mark Battersby, he's in the Barossa Valley. And he's not a real estate agent anymore, but he was when he was doing this. And the results that he got from the petrol discount offer to get listings was quite incredible. Because you just think, okay, if you're buying anything, doesn't matter what product or service, whether it's pool cleaning or accountancy advice, or whether it happens to be a lounge suite or a refrigerator, whatever it might be, and one person says, well, here's a refrigerator, take it or leave it. And the other person says, here's the same refrigerator, but we're going to give you petrol discounts. Which one are you going to take? Of course, you're going to take them on with the Happy Meal toy, particularly if they're very like products. Now, this guy, Mark Battersby in Adelaide in the Barossa Valley, his appraisals increased 6-fold in the first month. And he enjoyed a record number of new listings in the 4th week of the program. It was just quite incredible what happened. You see, this incentive-based marketing stuff is a money machine if you do it properly. And that's why I'm saying, look, you can run off and just do this yourself, okay? And if you feel that you're an entrepreneur and you've got a pretty good marketing brain, then do it with my compliments. If you want it done by, ourselves, and we know how to package it, we know how to do it, then I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So there you have it. Okay, in my opinion, one of the most powerful client attraction and retention concepts I've personally ever seen. As I've told you before, it's either holidays or petrol discounts as far as I'm concerned. If you'd like to just grab that stuff and do it yourself, my compliments. And so therefore I'll just blow that light out. Okay, I'm out. I'm blowing it out too many times now, but that was supposed to be once. My video editor, I've got to talk to him as well. So therefore, you can run off and do it yourself. You've seen what the essence is. It's basically turning what normally would be a 10% discount into a Happy Meal toy, into a fuel discount. Okay, so the whole idea is for you to think about this. If you were willing to give up 10% of your sale price with whatever you sell, whether it happens to be a swimming pool or it happens to be landscaping or you're a dentist, if you were willing to give up 10% because you think that could double your business, would you do it? And everyone puts their hand up. Whenever I ask that question in a seminar, says, of course you would. 10%, who wouldn't give up 10% to double their business? Now, you know that if you did have a 10% discount on whatever you do, no one cares. 10%, please. You just saw at the beginning of this, disaster webinar when we had 10 minutes of Zoom going nuts, but you did see at the beginning of this, there shops everywhere, particularly jewelry shops at the moment, 50% off, 60% off, 80% off. That's what everyone's going to be doing coming out of the coronavirus, right? And so therefore you are not going to compete if you put a lousy 10% discount sign on your website or on your business. However, if you turn that 10% discount into a fuel savings, just watch what happens. You see Groupon give 50% at the moment, so why would you even think that 10% discount could do anything for your business? But I am going to show, well, I have shown you already, how you can turn that 10% discount into a fuel savings program, which will hopefully have them knocking your door down. Okay, so if you would like it all done for you, I'm guessing the answer to that is yes. Well, please show some love in the chat box. Would you like it all done for you? And because I have an ego, which I don't showcase very often, if you could put yes JD, yes JD, yes JD. Well, just put yes JD, but 3 people do that, all right? Okay, so therefore, we have a completely done for you package and it includes advertising resources, and these are the sorts of things that we provide to you. We provide the Facebook ads and the landing pages, the likes of which you saw with Wiggly Tail. We provide you the website banner ads. We provide pull-up banners if you happen to be a retail business or car dealership or something like that. And we also provide you the templates for brochure artwork. So you just add whatever you want to any one of those things, but we give that to you so you don't have to worry about dreaming that up yourself. And you know as well as I do that if you were to go and do this yourself, it's probably going to take you half a year to put the thing together, and maybe a $30,000, I don't know, but it'll take you quite a bit of your time. And if you value your time like I do, then maybe you might choose it's better to give it to someone who knows what they're doing. This happens to be a close-up of the brochure. So therefore you identify yourself down the bottom of that brochure. You'll see there's room for your details there to basically customize it for yourself. This happens to be the pull-up banners. If you are a retail store or car dealership or something like that, you might be a dentist surgery. This is what the vouchers look like. So therefore what happens is that when you join our version of the program, we give you 5,000 of these vouchers. And if you want more, I think it's a couple $100 every time you want 5,000. We're not interested in making money out of the vouchers, okay? They're just the means to an end. And what happens is that you either give out the vouchers if you happen to be a bricks and mortar store, or if you're an online business, then you just use digital versions of these. And you'll see at the back of that voucher, which is the bottom of your screen, there is a website that the people who get the voucher from you go to, fuelforlessclub.com. And what happens there is that they actually go on and they type in their unique code. Now that panel just toward the bottom there is a unique code. It's a numeric, alphanumeric code. So it might be ABC 124 XYZ, all right? And then what they do is that they type that in. The bottom panel on that particular voucher there is just to identify your business. But the big deal is the unique code. And so what happens is that when they get that from you, they go out and get their fuel from any petrol station, and they keep their receipt. And then when they get to their phone at the cafe or they get home to their computer, they simply then go and claim via Messenger. And when they go onto Messenger, there's a bot which will just simply ask them for their unique code. They type that in together with their details first time they go on, of course. And the money's just put straight into their bank account, or if they're worried about giving bank account details out, it just goes straight to PayPal. Very, very simple, okay? And there's an example of what the code looks like. Okay, Smith's Delicatessen. Now, I want to show you a guy who reckons he's the most expensive carpet cleaner around and what it did for his business. This is a client of ours who we've designed the petrol promotion for. His name is Dieter, and this is what he's got to say.
Yeah, my name's Dieter Killerman. I've got a carpet cleaning business. It's just incredible. And people, they don't see, if I was to put 10% off, my phone wouldn't even ring, because everyone else out there is, screaming out 3 bedrooms plus a 4th bedroom free and all that. And they're actually going nowhere. Whereas with this here, it's just phenomenal. No, I am the most expensive carpet cleaner around, and the best thing about this, it takes their eye off the price.
Okay. Jan or Gail just gave me a few questions, but I'll have to get them. I'll have to get to that later on because I can only do one thing at one time. Dita is a home cleaner, carpet cleaner. There happens to be another cleaner that I'll bring on in a moment to show you what I did for her. This lady, her name is Sam, and she has a home cleaning service. She actually had to put more staff on so that she could service clients. And I know that sounds like the usual wanky sort of show off, a webinar presenter or seminar presenter. But the fact is that the stuff I'm showing you is fair income. I couldn't give enough wine or Crown Lager away to get these people to fib. This fuel promotion, as I said, is up there with a free holiday as far as I'm concerned. And this is what she's got to say.
We've been running the Fuel for Less promotional program for the last couple of months, and my business has gone insane. I am holding off clients so I can find more staff to put on so I can service the new clients because all my staff are booked out. Not only does it get the clients in and excited about getting cheap petrol, but then they come back again and again. Money for Jan. Okay, so a lot of these people, of course, went on further than that, but I've taken the essence of what they've got to say and provided that to you. I think one of the questions were, what if I'm selling something for, say, $1,000? Okay, I've got a sheet here which is a bit of a table of just how, basically the whole thing works. But if you're selling something for $1,000, then I would say to you, okay, would you be willing to give up 10% if we could substantially increase your business? And the chances are you'd say yes straight away. So in $1,000, then what you would get is that you'd give someone 20 of those little vouchers that I showed you. Now keep in mind, every time you give someone one of those 10-cent vouchers up to 50 litres, then it's worth $5. So every one of those vouchers is essentially worth $5. So therefore, if someone's going to spend $1,000 buying a refrigerator from you or whatever it may be, a lounge suite, then you would give them 20 of those vouchers. Each one of those vouchers would give them a rebate of $5. Okay, so therefore, because $1,000, okay, 10% discount is $100, then of course, if you're actually devoting $100 to someone's fuel discounts, then they've got 20 of those vouchers, each one of those vouchers being worth $5. See how it works? And, we've got, if you want to, if you end up doing something with us, then we've got a whole table of how it could work for your business, right through to swimming pools and motor cars that might be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So don't worry about that at the moment. We'll show you how you can have an Elvis found headline, because people can claim up to $1 a litre. And you might say, well, how's that the case? Well, look, the thing is if they get, for example, the 50 of the 10-cent vouchers, and each one of those is worth $5, then they can actually bundle 10 of them together. So that's 10 times the 10 cents per litre discount, and they can actually get 50, 60, 70, 80 cents, 90 cents, $1 per litre discount. It's entirely up to them. When you give them X number of those vouchers, it's entirely up to them how many they want to cash in at any one time against 150 litre petrol purchase. Okay, so let me tell you about our version of this. So I guess what I'm saying is that you can pinch what you've got here tonight and run off and do your own petrol discount promotion. But realistically, you know as well as I do, it would take you forever. And because you don't have this template, there's a pretty good chance that you screw it up. Okay, you may not, but there's a good chance that you would. We've tested this. You can see the Greater Building Society and pizza businesses and real estate businesses and cleaning businesses and landscapers and swimming pools and all sorts of stuff. So therefore, we've tested this over a good period of time. And if you want the package promotion, I'll show you how it works. I'm going to actually bring on my Facebook guy in a moment, Mitch, to explain to you just how you can promote this on Facebook and drive traffic to a landing page and then make money out of selling to the people who give you their data. But, I really do believe that that little phrase I've got there, the greatest customer Drawcard in the world, together with the free holidays, I think they're neck and neck, okay? Look, let me just run through how it works in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 components to this. I'll put my specs on and read it for you. For every $50 someone spends with you in the one transaction, you provide them with a fuel savings voucher. So if they spend $100 in the same transaction, remember it's in the same transaction. Okay, so this is not one of those cumulative things like frequent flyer points. What we want to do is to incentivize people to actually spend more money with you in the one transaction. Gesundheit. So I do have a gallery here with me at the moment, and could you put your hands together, Don, if you don't mind, and Jenny? Thank you. Okay, I told you this wouldn't be death by PowerPoint. There would be some dad jokes. By the way, what are they going to call Bob the Builder when he retires?
Bob. Okay, so therefore, thank you for the pity laugh. So if they spend $100 in the same transaction, they get 2 vouchers. If they spend $150, they get 3 vouchers and so forth. So if you're making sales online, we provide you with an email template that you send to the purchaser, inviting them to click for the digital vouchers. Okay, so obviously online, it's a digital voucher situation. The second thing is your customer is invited to register their fuel savings voucher by visiting the web page shown on the voucher, okay, and submitting their details and unique code. And you've seen how that works. I just showed you a moment ago. Each registered voucher provides your customer with 10 cents per litre fuel rebate up to 50 litres. Okay, so that means each voucher costs you $5, which is 10% of the $50 they spent. So you see how clever this is? You're turning a 10% discount into a juggernaut sales promotion. Number 3, your customers get their fuel from any petrol station and simply keep their receipt. Your customer then simply redeems their fuel discount online through Facebook Messenger, where we deposit the rebate directly into their bank account. Now, what happens, you create a kitty. So therefore, you might put $500 into a kitty, and as that gets taken by people taking up their rebates, of course, we let you know when it gets down to $100, so you can, top it up again. Simple as that. See in point 4 below. This is directly from my website, so therefore forgive the fact that point 4 below, but I'll go into that matter. The simple redemption process where your customers simply click a camera icon on their messenger page and then photograph their fuel receipt. So the point is that you simply deposit units of $500 into a fuel for less kitty, and when the balance gets under $100, we automatically notify you to top up your kitty, which as much as you like, but we suggest $500 units. Now, this is the interesting part. If you sell a larger ticket line, say for something that might be over $2,000 or $3,000, we'll provide you with PDFs of a larger voucher, so that we don't hand out 300 or 400 of these little, sort of vouchers. We'll give you a larger one. And because the larger number of vouchers your customer will be eligible for in that case, you can combine all of them in the one large voucher. For example, if you sold a $5,000 item like a solar panel system, a customer will be eligible for 100 fuel savings vouchers. So rather than email PDFs like 100 of them, we give them this one large one, which says they've got 100 vouchers, okay? And then as far as the rebate process, it's really simple. I'm going to play a little 1-minute video for you so you see how sophisticated it is. We know you're way too busy to get involved giving cash back to your customers. You don't want them knocking on your door with a fuel receipt, okay? So we looked after all that for you. In this little video, I'm going to show you how it's done. So let me just press the button, and this is how your customers go onto Messenger and they get their money put straight into a bank account or into PayPal.
Your customer will start the voucher registration process by either typing register voucher into Facebook Messenger or by clicking the add fuel voucher in the menu gallery. They simply enter their unique code or codes, and their voucher or vouchers will automatically be credited to their account. Your customer can register any quantity of fuel savings vouchers. Whenever one of your customers registers a voucher or vouchers, you will be immediately emailed an updated Google Sheet with their personal details and quantity of vouchers registered. In other words, you are kept up to date with all voucher registrations. When your customer wants to claim their cash rebate, they either type in claim fuel discount in Facebook Messenger or click the add fuel receipt button in the menu gallery. To claim the fuel rebate, your customer will need to have their fuel receipt with them. Firstly, they'll select the fuel discount amount they wish to claim against their receipt. For example, 10 cents, 20 cents, up to $1 per litre. If, for example, they had 4 fuel savings vouchers credited to the account, they'll be able to choose 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents or 40 cents fuel discount. Your customer then enters the number of litres on their fuel receipt. Keep in mind there's a limit of 50 litres per claim. Then they simply take a photo of their fuel receipt to validate their claim. Easily done within Facebook Messenger by simply clicking the camera icon on the screen at this point. And bingo, it's all done. Your customer has now completed their redemption procedure and their cash rebate will be paid by their choice of bank transfer or PayPal. Payments happen each Friday.
Okay, pretty simple. Can you imagine if you had to go through all that yourself? That's why I keep on saying, look, pinch the idea, run off and do it yourself. But when you see just how affordable it is to do it through our system, I think that's probably an option that you don't want to take. Okay, so basically you get the following. You get a 6-month license. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these things. You get a 6-month license. Okay, so the only way we can make money out of something like this, of course, is to package it together so it's done for you. And we provide you with an X period license. And we've decided that that license would be 6 months. And on top of that, you get 5,000 of the fuel savings vouchers. Okay, if you happen to be a bricks and mortar business, and if you're a digital business, then obviously we give that to you in a digital format. The third thing you get is 1 month of Facebook ad management. Now, this is a biggie. okay, and I'm going to introduce my Facebook expert in a moment, but you actually, as part of this program, get the first month of Facebook ad management. And that means is that our digital agency that we work with will provide you with up to 3 individual ads, which you're seeing on the left-hand side there, and 3 individual landing pages. Keep in mind, if you're going to be using Facebook, unlike a newspaper or magazine where you put the ad out there and then they come and talk to you, no. Our Facebook campaign should be a 2-step sell where you have the ad that drives them through to a landing page that collects their data. Okay, that's what this is all about. So therefore, we actually provide to you, and by the way, you might say, well, what's the value of that? Anybody who has a business that's been dealing with a digital agency, which means you've probably been dealing with a 23-year-old, they will normally be somewhere between $1,000 and $2,500 a month. That's what they charge, okay? And I know that because we were paying around about $1,500 a month to another agency up until a few years ago when we've come across Mitch, and Mitch is much more cost effective, and he's a gun at this sort of stuff. So, you know, we're a marketing agency. We wouldn't pick just any Facebook agency. So therefore the guys that we're dealing with are guns when it comes to this, and we are providing you with our secret weapon, if you like, for 1 month. Why are we doing that? We want this thing to launch like crazy so that you'll come back and stick around after the 6 months. And by the way, after the 6 months, you don't have to sign another 6-month agreement with us. You just actually go month by month after that. Okay, so we'll tell you about that in a moment. So therefore, you get 1 month's worth of Facebook ad management, which means the copywriting, the artwork, the ad, the management of placing the ad, talking to Facebook, giving you a dashboard so you can see how many people have clicked on it. All that sort of stuff is done for you. The 4th thing we do is give you that very sophisticated online fuel rebate redemption process. Can you imagine that if you didn't have something like that, these people coming into you with their fuel receipts, knocking on your door saying, excuse me, I want my rebate. No, it's all done for you, okay? All you do is top that kitty up all the time. And the other thing is, if you're a bricks and mortar business, we know that if you're a butcher, you don't want the butcher across the road getting it. So therefore, we give you a 2 postcode exclusivity. If you're an online business, obviously that's impossible because it's online. But if you happen to be, for argument's sake, a restaurant and you're in Smith Street and there are 40 other restaurants, within a 2 postcode sort of perimeter, don't worry, they're not going to get it. Okay, so you get a 2 postcode exclusivity. And we do that for 2 reasons. Number one, it's just a sensible thing to do because at the end of the day, why would we give it to someone else who's going to be offering the same Happy Meal toy as you? And number 2, we just think it's fair. We think if you're a bricks and mortar business, then you should have some degree of exclusivity. And we want it to work for you, of course. The 6th thing is that we provide you with all those advertising resources, whether it be pull-up banners or press ads or web pages and all that sort of stuff. Okay, now I can assure you, if you were to try and set this up and in a sophisticated sort of client attraction program like this, I estimate, it's only me, so therefore you can say, oh, JD, I don't believe you, I don't think it would cost that much. It's entirely up to you, I don't care. But I reckon, given what we've spent on putting this together, you'd have to probably devote 6 months to a year of your time and, work out yourself what you value your time at, and probably 20 or 30 or maybe even more, $1,000 in terms of, setting the whole thing up. You can get this entire done for you system for $825 a month. And I think that's extraordinary. And the reason that we've priced it at that level is because we want a shitload of people coming on this. We don't want to make it just for the elite. I showed you when I was giving this stuff to the Greater Building Society, by the way. And I know this sounds like a typical seminar wanker, but I was getting paid $34,500 a month by the Greater Building Society, $34,500 a month. And so you can imagine my wife just going white in the face when at the end of my time with them, I chose it. I said to Gail, look, let's stop the boardrooms and all these big businesses, because I was consulting to Channel 9 and the NRL and Macca's and KFC and 7-Eleven and Blockbuster Video at the time and the Greater Building Society. It was running me ragged and I was in boardrooms all the time. And I said to Gail, my wife, look, I said, I want to get out of this, and why don't we cut up my IP, all these ideas that I've got, into bite-sized pieces and give it to smaller businesses. And she asked me to go and see a psychiatrist, because guess what? The Greater Building Society was paying me $34,500 a month at the time. So I was saying goodbye to 400 odd K to jump into the pool that I'm in these days, which is small business. I just got sick of the boardrooms and I just got sick of that whole, shenanigans that goes on with regards to boards. And if you've been in a board, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what we've done in the last half a dozen years or so. We've got all these ideas that I've used to deliver to the big businesses paying a shitload of money. And I worked out the way that we can make money out of them is to actually compact them down to, basically a done for you program. We know as a small business owner, You just don't have the time to put this shit together. And it doesn't matter whether you're a seminar junkie or a webinar junkie and you listen to Dan Kennedy's and your Frank Kearns and your Joe Polish's and all these experts around the world who give you lots of advice, but they don't give you a package. I bet you that you've only executed probably 10% of any of those. And we know. I've stopped using the word coaching, okay? I don't coach anyone now. We just have a consult program. And by the way, if you want to know about that, go to jdprivateconsult.com. There's no AU, okay? So it's jdprivateconsult.com, and you'll see how we have a consult program these days. We only have a 2-month lock-in because we know people don't want to lock themselves in until they work out whether you're fair income. But if you're interested in that, this is well aside from the system, by the way. You can go on to jdprivateconsult.com. But this thing here, $825 a month. And I think, Don, what does that work out a day? $27 a day, wasn't it? $27 a day. So it's really, really crazy. All of that stuff done for you, okay? And so there you have it. Direct response marketing formula to attract new clients and keep them, by the way. So if you're a big ticket line, obviously is to attract them. But certainly if you're a smaller ticket line where you've got a repetitive trade stimulus, then you're not going to get better than this. I'm going to bring on to the webinar now, just for a few minutes, our Facebook guru, Mitch Gibson. And what he's going to do is he's going to show you how he has put this Facebook campaign together for a couple of our clients. Mitch, are you there? You can come on, mate?
Yeah, mate. All here.
Terrific, mate. Look, can you do me a favour, Mitch? And first of all, can you spell Afghanistan?
I can't. I can spell complimentary though.
Good. Can you spell New South Wales? NSW. Can you spell New South Wales? Okay, so enough silliness.
You will do.
It's, I'm eating into your valuable time because I know you want to spend 3 hours with 10 Can you explain to me, to everybody, just your role, where you know, basically your agency, and no names, no pack drill, because the thing is, I don't want them coming and cutting me up. But this is not hard to look up Mitch Gibson and see where you are. But Mitch, because he's a trusted member of our family, if you at the end of this go, oh, I just want the Facebook guy, Jody, I don't want you, he will not be talking to you, okay? Because Mitch knows I've got Italian friends, okay? Mitch, can you explain, you've got a couple of case studies here of how you put this campaign together for a couple of our clients.
Yeah, sure. So just a little bit of background. I've run my unnamed agency for for 8 years now, and prior to that, I was working in the NRL in a social media position. Basically could make more on the weekend doing freelance jobs than working in sport. So that's when I was on a plane and saw an ad for JD selling a seminar for a Jerry Seinfeld promo. And yeah, so then I invited him on LinkedIn and we've been working together ever since. So basically, as you know, I've been doing Facebook ads ever since they've really been a thing in the last 8 years. And specifically with this Fuel for Less program, we've found that if you have a small ticket business, sort of like the Wiggly Tail Butchery, there's a lot of options you can do. You know, obviously the 10 cents thing. If you're doing a Facebook promo, you can obviously get people in the door by saying, hey, we'll give you an extra 10-cent thing if you pick it up in store. You can do a double promotion. There's so many ways you can you know, skin the cat in that sense. But it's also very valuable, as you saw, for a higher ticket thing. So, you know, solar in particular, you know, mortgage broking and home loans, but basically anything of a higher ticket, you would use it in a longer term period. So you would get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents a litre for a period of time, whether that be, you know, 3, 6, 12 months, depending on the cost of your actual product. And JD, if you spin the slide, I'll show you a few examples of how we've done it recently for some higher ticket clients. So this is a solar company called Solardon, and basically exactly what we said. So everyone sort of gets what solar does and the benefits. So these guys were selling an entry-level system. Anyone that's got solar would know anything around that $3,000 mark is your starter Chinese kits, but they are very affordable to the mass market. So he was offering a 6.6 kilowatt system for just under $3,000, which for the average household, again, cuts their bills by 75%. So that's the main thing that we don't want to take away from the focus of your actual product just to get fuel discounts either. But the problem with the solar industry, there's companies that have, you know, Chinese call centers, Indian call centers all over the world, which obviously cuts their costs down, but it means they can deliver a price at just above a wholesale. So it's very hard to compete just on price in the solar sector. So what we've done here, as you can see, we've offered a fuel discount for 6 months. Can you just scroll back up there for a sec? Yeah. So they're getting a 20-cent fuel discount for 6 months. So it's 26 weeks, $10 maximum a week. And then there you go. It's $260, less than 10% of that 3,000. And it's only 10% if they get the whole 50 litres. Now, you've got a lot of people with smaller cars now that don't even have a 50-litre tank. And you're assuming they're rocking up at a petrol station with nothing in the tank as well. So in most cases, you'll probably find that it works out to be a 7 or 8% discount, not even a 10%. But you can see how to sell a $3,000 product for $260, the acquisition cost for that is just remarkable. And if they were to click through to that page, if someone was wanting to inquire, you'll see here has the benefit statement of the actual product first. So save up to 70% your energy bill, because that's what they're paying the $3,000 for. Plus, get you 20 cents a litre. So every other solar company might have the 75% thing, and everyone sort of knows that, but no other solar company has the 20 cents a litre. And it explains how.
And Mitch, can I just explain once again? So 20 cents a litre means they get 2 of those vouchers, 2 10-cent vouchers, and 20 cents a litre every week multiplied by 50 litres is $10. Yep. Multiply that by 26 weeks, which is 6 months, and that's $260 to get a $3,000 sale.
Yeah. Now, if you said to them, "Oh, we'll just give you $260 off that," they'll just go back to one of the other guys like Sunboost or that have the overseas call centers, and they'll just give them $300 off, and you've lost the sale, right? So it's all about perceived value. The 20 cents a litre.
Psychology.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So especially considering people are used to the whole system of a 4-cent discount at Woolies or Coles. So having a 20 cent or 10 cent, 20 cents is 5 times what their expectation is, and they're getting it every week for half a year. So it's a pretty attractive. It's trying to, give a point of difference when most of the products are the same.
Good, mate. And the other one that you've only just put together recently, which is a property investment company.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit different. So how they work is they'll work with builders, and they'll basically get the whole finance package together for someone that's looking to get an investment property together. And so they work as a consultant. So basically people with a bit of equity in their property and want to get an investment property but really don't know what to do and don't too scared to make the right decision. So here's your ad here. So we started off on a statement where, it says, "Hey Dave, do you know what? Do you know we could have got an investment property in Brisbane for just $300,000 in 2010, being 10 years ago? Probably wouldn't get that for under 600, 700 now." And this is what people always say. They go, "Oh, we wish we should have invested 10 years ago." So it triggers something in their head. Should have, could have, didn't. Well, what these guys do, these guys find the best opportunities and present them to them, and then they get a cut from the builder, the real estate agent, and all that sort of stuff. So these guys make about $20,000 a sale, and their idea is to get the amount of leads through rather than actual offer it on a sale basis. So if they need eight leads to get a sale and make $20,000, they're offering, as you scroll down here, they're offering 50 cents a litre for 4 weeks. So that's a month's worth of fuel. They're basically getting 50 cents a litre, which as we worked out, that's 5 vouchers a week, $25 a week for 4 weeks, $100 maximum value. So for $100, if they need 8 leads to get a $20,000 sale, they've spent $800 to make $20,000, right?
Gotcha. And the landing page there, of course, they click the ad, they go through the landing page and they give their details to book an appointment. Yeah. So basically what we're saying here is that we're using the fuel discount for someone with a big ticket line where he's selling $500,000 or $600,000 homes and he gets a $20,000 commission out of it. He's more than happy to give them a discount on their petrol to get an appointment.
Yeah, it's because he knows they can read that Facebook ad 20 times over, but the real lessons is going to be in that strategy called the appointment that he has. That's where he's going to build the real trust. But to get them through to that point, he needs to give them, he needs to dangle his adult Happy Meal toy, and this is it. So, these are just his examples, like a 50 cents over 4 weeks. He could have broken that down 10 cents over 20 weeks or 20 cents over 10 weeks. But he thought, let's go big or go home and go 50 cents over 4 weeks, which is, you know, roughly half price fuel. And they're really going to see that, because the reason he chose 4 weeks as well, he thinks that from the time he speaks to the lead to the time they make a decision is under a month.
Yep.
So if they're seeing a discount every week, every time they fill up, they remember him as well.
The thing is, Mitch, is that what these people with a bigger ticket line, like I've done this promotion for Jago Caravans, and they were selling $30,000 caravans. So the idea is, if it's a big ticket line, then you may well want to use the fuel discount as a lure just to get an appointment. Because if you're going to give them $100 or $200 or $300 worth of fuel discounts, but you're going to make 10 or 20 or 30, you do it every day of the week. Mate, thank you very much. There's something that I want you to highlight. We're coming to the end of this, but whoever's watching might be interested in getting us to look after all this for them in a done-for-you package. You are an accredited Facebook partner, and every now and again they gift you with something. Can you just explain to me what that's all about? Because we're going to include that for the first 8 people that want to get onto this program.
Yeah, well, they know that Facebook marketing partners like myself can introduce them to more money. So they're not stupid, right? So, and they know an agency like myself can get client results. So what they'll do is from time to time, they'll give us what they call Facebook ad coupons or Facebook ad credits. And the amount varies from time to time, but recently, due to COVID, they've given us 8 $500 ad credits. So basically, the first $500 you spend on Facebook ads, which is essentially like cash, we have a coupon limited to 1 per person, that we can add to their account so they don't pay for the first $500 in ads. And I've been kind enough to pass those on to JD.
Because you are a relative of Mother Teresa's.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now look, all jokes aside, I mean, there's the same thing with us, is that we're dealing with someone who's actually dealing with or giving us volume, then we'll look after them. So therefore, Facebook is every now and again gifting agencies like Mitch's with a $500 ad credit, then he's happy to pass that on to us because we give Mitch a lot of work. So what we're going to do tonight is that if you're interested in us giving you the package for the fuel discount promotion for the first 8 people, we've only got 8 of these, so once they're gone, then we will actually not only give you Mitch for that first month to put all the campaigns together, the likes of which you've just seen there, where there's the ad and then there's the landing page and so forth. And by the way, your services, Mitch, they get up to 3 different ads to test and 3 different landing pages to test within that first month, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. So again, I mentioned earlier, you could have different offers where you do a double reward or a normal reward, or if anyone does decide to go ahead, I have a strategy call with them and we discuss different campaigns that we can do. But if you have up to 3 product lines, you can do 3 different campaigns and there'll be a offer specific landing page.
So I guess what we're saying is that, you know, because no one's infallible, the whole idea is you've got the flexibility in that first month for whatever product or service you've got to test 3 ads and 3 landing pages. Let me just run through what the extra bonus is that we can provide then if you're interested in doing something tonight. And this is only for the first 8 people. This is not available tomorrow. And anything we do with these webinars, I want to teach you direct response. If you're going to do something in an evening webinar, give people till midnight, and you've got till midnight to get this package. But if you come in at number 9, well, you know, you only get the package without the 3 bonuses that I'm about to show you. The first bonus is this, it's the Facebook ad credits, which means you've got Mitch in the program already, running your Facebook campaign and managing everything and giving you a dashboard reporting system for that first month. But what we're doing is making sure you don't have to put your hand in your pocket. We're going to actually give you the Facebook ad credit for $500 for that first month. So therefore, you don't have to even pay for any ads in the first month, okay? If you want to top that up, that's your business, but we're giving you $500 worth of ads from Facebook. The other thing that we'll do is that we'll pay for the first 50 voucher claims. So therefore, each one of those voucher claims, 10 cents multiplied by 50 litres, obviously is worth $5 every one of those vouchers, which means if we're going to look after you for the first 50, then of course we're throwing in that $250. Now, why are we doing that? We want you to hit the ground running. We don't want you to actually launch this promotion and go, oh, I don't know whether I want to put money in the, how much money am I going to put in that kitty that they draw from when they actually get their rebate? Well, forget it. Don't worry about that. We'll pay for the first 50 voucher claims. And then once that obviously evaporates, then you have to top up your kitty. And that again is only for the first 8 people. And also we'll extend the license by 1 month. Okay, so therefore, instead of 6 months, we will give you 7 months license. By the way, at the end of the 6 months, if you want to renew the license with us, in this instance, if you take this program, then the 7 months, we just charge a $697 per month fee thereafter. Okay, so therefore, in the beginning, it's $825 per month multiplied by the 6 months, which is your 4950. But after the 6 months, in this instance, after the 7 months, if you buy tonight, then we'll give you a month by month contract then, whereby you just pay $697 and we continue to package everything for you. So therefore, that's the deal. If you're one of the first 8 to order tonight, then you get these bonuses. It's basically the contract is 6 months multiplied by $825 a month. So for $4,950, you get everything that I told you about in the first instance, plus these 3 bonuses. Also too, finance. If you don't have the money at the moment, we understand that if things have been tough, maybe you're not flushed with the money, then no problems. We can actually introduce you to Lifestyle Finance Company, which is a partner of ours, who can provide you, unless you just got out of jail, there's a pretty good chance they're going to provide you with the 4950 within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so we realise that people are coming through a tough period at the moment, so it just makes sense to make finance available for them. And this particular company called Lifestyle Finance Co., they can provide you with the 4950. Now, if I don't think there's it's a personal loan, so it's not like you need an ABN number. You can write it off through your business, by the way, but the way they do it is that you don't have to have an ABN number. And generally speaking, Jan, we've been getting them through in about 48 hours, haven't we?
Yeah, 48
about 48 hours. There was a couple that went 2 or 3 days, but within 48 hours. And by the way, that will kick off at about $56 per week. So if you go down the finance option, a 2-year loan with them means that you would only have to pay out $56 and you're underway with this promotion. Okay, so it's pretty affordable. And if you wanted to choose that option, when you go through to the order page, which is there right now, it's fuelpromo.com.au. So if you want to be one of the first 8, then you can jump on there and get the deal. You can just decide whether or not you want to pay by credit card, if you want to pay by bank transfer, or you want to pay by finance. And if you want to pay by finance and it takes a couple of days to get through, don't worry. If you're still one of those first 8, we will wait for the first couple of days to get your finance through. And if you did get knocked back because, I don't know, you've been in jail or you're a member of the Manson family, then we will just give it to the 9th person who's, on the, ordering system tonight. So if you want the deals, now let me just go through the extra bonuses. Okay, the extra bonuses are $500 Facebook ad credit. You actually get the first 50 of your vouchers paid. So that's 50 times $5. And we give you the 7th month on the contract instead of 6. So we'll give the 7th month for free. They're the bonuses that are available for the first 8. But you need to go to fuelpromo.com.au. Okay. Now, what I thought I might do is just open the chat box to answer any questions that you might have. We won't do the video audio questions because I think given the problems we've had with Zoom tonight, it'll screw up. But if you do have a question and Jan can just pass it on to me in the chat box, then fire away. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. By the way, in terms of the components that you get, let me just get my little bit of paper in front of me so that I've got my script in front of me. The components that you get in terms of the promotion, aside from those three extra bonuses, one of which is the major one, the actual ad credit from Facebook, you get the 6 months license, you get the redemption scheme all done online for you. Okay, so therefore that's all looked after for you. You don't have people knocking on your door saying, excuse me, I've got a picture receipt. You get access to all of the advertising materials. So therefore, whether it be pull-up banner artwork or whether it be brochure artwork and this, that, and the other. If you're a bricks and mortar business, you get the 2 postcode exclusivity. And what we do is that if you are going to be going down the Facebook path, which of course you have to, in our opinion, because that's where a lot of the audience is going to be that you're attracting, you're going to get the access to Mitch to be putting that campaign together for you and managing it, both creating the copy, creating the ads, managing the Facebook campaign for you. That all comes with the package. But if you are one of the first 8 tonight, you get the bonuses of the $500 Facebook credit, which means you don't have to pay for any ads in that first month. You can actually test ads and determine which ones work. And then in the 2nd or 3rd month, if you want to put your own money behind it, well, guess what? You know which ones work. You also get the 7 months for the price of the 6-month contract, and you get the first 50 vouchers paid for you. Pretty damn good offer. Any questions? Jan, do we have any questions? Okay, looks like, well, if there's no questions, hopefully either you're bored shitless or no, sorry, I wouldn't say hopefully. You are either bored shitless or hopefully we've covered all of the potential questions that you could possibly ask. As I said it right at the beginning, in my career, as I've been giving away 1 million incentives over the years to get people to, get excited about other people's businesses, refrigerators, lounge suites, TVs, all sorts of things. Nothing comes near a free holiday or nothing comes near free fuel discounts. And in this instance, if you think about the psychology of this, this is purely and simply you giving up 10% and turning it into a juggernaut giveaway, turning it into a Happy Meal toy. And by the way, when you amortize the $825 a month for the license on top of the 10%, for most businesses that are selling something between $10 and $1,000, it'll mean the 10% rises to 11, 12, maybe 13% discount. So basically, with our costs, even on top of the 10% discount, because some people say to me, oh, you want me to give up a 10% discount and then they give you money? Well, yes, because we've devised the whole thing and we've automated it. We've got the redemption scheme all done on Messenger. We've provided you with all of these resources and we look after your Facebook ad management. What do you think we're Mother Teresa? Do you think we're doing this for charity? Of course, we have to charge you for it. And they go, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. But we've still got to give up the 10%. So my answer to that is if you amortize the $825 that you're paying per month for the license fee that we charge, then over goods and services that might be somewhere between 10 and, let's say not $10, but $100 and $1,000, then that 10% discount might turn into 11, 12 or 13, not much more than that. Okie dokie, I don't think we have any questions, so there's no need for me to hang around. Just go to fuelpromo.com.au if you would like this package promotion. And what we'll do, if you do get that tonight and you are one of the first 8 people, you get those bonuses. But we will be on to talking to you tomorrow. So what will happen is at the moment you become a member of our program, then you'll get a call from us tomorrow. And what we'll do is that we'll actually, sorry, 2 questions? Okay, Jan just said you've got a couple of questions.
Total costs $825 plus Facebook ads, and we might spend $500 a month in ads.
Okay, so therefore the question was, so all up it's $825 a month, multiplied by 6, by the way. So therefore you have to take the 6-month contract out, because the last thing we want to do is give it to someone for a month. They decide that the second month they get tired and then we have to go and find someone else. That's just, no, that's not a business model. So it's $825 a month multiplied by 6 months up front, okay? As far as the other expenses, well, the first month, if you're one of the first 8, you don't have to pay for any Facebook ads. I mean, normally you would pay for a Facebook digital marketing agency, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And then to manage everything for you, then you've got to put your ad spend, you've got to put your ad spend against it on top of that. In this instance, we're giving you Mitch Gibson's agency for free for that first month to put all the advertising together for you. That's 3 ads and 3 landing pages. And we're paying $500 of ad spend. So Facebook have given us a $500 ad credit and we're giving that to you. So therefore you don't have to put your hand in your pocket at all for the first month. After that, if you want to continue advertising on Facebook, and I suggest you probably will if you've had the success or half the success that these other people are enjoying, then you just decide whatever you want to do. I mean, Mitch will ask you, do you want to spend $20 a day or $30 a day or $50 a day? It's entirely up to you in the second month onwards. Mitch's fees, just so that you know that we're not, bait advertising, getting you in, and then you're going to pay, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month for Mitch. Mitch has a special deal for all of our Fuel for Less clients that in the second, the third, and fourth, and ongoing months, if you want to use his services, and I suspect you will, it's $297. Now, Mitch normally charges $550 a month. Go onto his website if you want. It's lbdmarketing.com.au. I was only joking before when we're trying to keep that secret. I was having a gag. But his business is lbdmarketing.com.au. And he charges $550 a month to do the management and the creation of everybody's ads. Now, because you're a Fuel for Less customer of ours, then he will do that for $297. So after the first month, if you want to continue using his services, you just determine how much money you want to put against the budget each day. And I think the first month's worth of testing will tell you what works and what doesn't and how much money you probably need to put behind it. That can be $20 a day, $30 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day. It's entirely up to you, okay? And Mitch, to keep looking after you from month 2 onwards, is very modest, in my opinion, $297, which is about half of what he normally charges, $297 per month. The other question, Jan?
You just answered it.
Did I just answer it? Okay, yeah. Anybody have any relationship questions? Because I am pretty good on fixing relations. I'm not good at relationships at all. No. Okay, guys. Well, listen. Hopefully, you got a lot out of that. And as I said, if you want to run off and do the fuel promotion yourself, then do it with my compliments. But you'll see there's a few cogs in the wheel here. There's a few things that one has to think about. And I think we've created a pretty sophisticated incentive-based marketing concept here, and we put it together in a done-for-you package. Over the years, when I've tested it with, Greater Building Society and all those other people that you saw, I learned a lot of lessons. Okay, I learned a lot of lessons of how to put these things together. And I know that if you are a business doing less than $500,000 or less than $1 million or less than $2 or $3 million, chances are that you are a very, very good technician. Chances are you're very good at what you do, whether that's pool cleaning or there's a butcher or baker or whatever you do, accountant, you're a dentist, you're a landscaper, whatever it may be, you're pretty good at that. And you probably see the merit in this thing and think to yourself, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to pay him that money. I'll go off and do it myself. But I think you'd probably wake up with a reality check about a day into this and go, oh my God. There was one occasion, we live on the Gold Coast now, but we moved from Sydney to Gloucester many thousands of years ago, okay, when all our kids were small. We've got 6 kids and they're millennials now, but they were small at the time. And I remember, I think things must have been tight, and I decided to paint the house ourselves. I got a painter out we built a house in a 14-acre property, and I think we're pretty tight on cash. And I got a painter out, and he quoted 15 grand to paint the house. And I said to Gail, forget that, I'll do it myself. How hard could painting be? You know what? I've got the ladder and I've got the bloody sheets on the ground, and I'm telling the kids to shut up and go away and this, that, the other. This was before we'd moved in. Okay, so we were staying at a hotel in town for the week beforehand to get all the furniture delivered, and then I'd paint the inside of the house. It was only the inside of the house. The outside was Western Red Cedars. That was looked after. Half a day in, I've used the F word like 4.8 million times. I've fallen off the ladder. There's paint all over the floor. I rang the painter up who quoted me $15,000, and I said to him, mate, I'll give you 30 grand if you get out here and paint the effing house, So I realized that Clint Eastwood was not so silly when he pointed a gun at someone in one of those movies and said, a man needs to know his limitations. And I think that if you are a good dentist or a doctor, or you're a good landscaper or a good accountant, or you're a good retailer, whatever it might be, then good on you. That's why you're in business. But maybe you're not good at putting package promotions together. So if I were you, and I know this is self-serving, but if you've got a sore tooth, go to a dentist. If you need something to differentiate yourself from everyone else out there as you reboot your business, don't go down the price discounting path, go down the incentive-based marketing path. And if you don't feel comfortable putting all of the bells and whistles of this together yourself, I think bloody $825 a month, which, Don, can you tell me again? $27 a day.
$27 a day, mate.
$27 a day. How much is a packet of cigarettes these days? I don't smoke, so I reckon it'd be more than 27. Is it? Anybody know that? I'll tell you what, whoever tells me how much is a packet of Peter Stuyvesant, I will give you free membership of that club I gave the other girl to. I'll hang on for someone just to tell me how much is a packet of Winfield or Peter Stuyvesant or Benson Hedges. So I know all the names, I just don't smoke. Is it $25 or $30 a packet of cigarettes now? I'm not sure. Anyway, if
$56,
I beg your pardon?
$27 or something else. $1.10 a stick.
$1.10 for a cigarette.
$64.
You're kidding. Goodness me. I'm glad I don't smoke. Goodness me. Wow. Yeah. I remember at school, I went to De La Salle Kingsgrove, a Sydney school, Catholic school, and the De La Salle brothers at the time were pretty strict. And I know that we would, we'd have a few cigarettes at the back of the shelter shed. And I know in those days you could buy a packet of 10. You can't do that anymore, of course. And I think the packet of 10, every cigarette was costing like 5 cents. And you're saying every cigarette now is $1.10, is it? Yeah. Goodness me. Wow. So there you go. If you are a smoker, then for the cost of a packet of cigarettes a day, yeah. And by the way, those people who were good enough to type into the chat box what the cigarettes cost, I will send you the link to my WOW Manifesto program, which is $497 value. Okay. So therefore, Jan's going to take note of your thing. See what happens when you participate. See what happens when you get off your ass and you do stuff. Before I go, the final thing is that I was distressed to see on the news tonight. It was just awful. That Hollywood actress, did you see that? And I'm ending on a sour note, I probably shouldn't be, but that Hollywood actress got stabbed in the main street of Hollywood. Reese, I can't think of her name. Could you type it in? Could you type it into the chat box? She's a famous actress, Reese somebody. Is anyone typing that into the chat box at the moment, Jan? Reese? Someone typing, what was it?
With a spoon.
Oh, no, not with a spoon, with a knife. You fell in. Boom, boom. Shh.
Oh, dear.
What a tragic way to end a webinar. Okay, if any of my millennial kids were here, and they're not because they don't give a shit what I do, then yeah, they would be going, Dad. A seminar I did a little while ago, the 21-year-old, the youngest of our children, came along, and at the end of the seminar, he came up to me and said, Dad, that wasn't bad. That was pretty good stuff that you talk about. And I thought, he suffers from my sarcasm, so I'm expecting there's a part B to this. And I went, okay. And he goes, look, between you and I'd cut the dad jokes. You're not very funny. So anyway, I knew there had to be an end. I'm in the wrong job. Yeah, okay. You know, I'm only good at two things. I'm hopeless at life in general, and the two things I've ever only been good at. I don't think I'm too bad at this marketing stuff, and we've been able to feed 6 kids by pushing all this stuff out there over the years. But the only other thing I was good at was soccer. I played, at a reasonable level in Sydney in soccer for St. George. But other than that, I'm hopeless. Gail will not give me a wallet. I lose them. I lose credit cards. The keys. How about that, Gail? We jumped in the car not so long ago. By the way, this is more of your life that you're losing by listening to this, but we jumped in the car when you could go to shopping centres, and we drove over to a Westfield on the Gold Coast. And you're not going to believe this. We're hearing my phone go, and whatever the ringtone was. And I'm driving along, and I said to Gail, can you see where my phone is? And she goes, no. And I'm looking under the seat as I'm driving, and I pull up the traffic lights, and we could hear it going, people ringing me because I'm popular. And we couldn't see it anywhere. We drove around about, 5, 6, 7 kilometres, got to the shopping mall. I got out of the car. Guess what? The phone's on the roof of the car.
We're very lucky.
How did it not fall off during that time? The phone was on the roof of the car, and we're driving along. I'm looking everywhere, and so this is what a dickhead I am. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm not a dickhead when it comes to the marketing stuff. I think you'd have to agree that this is a pretty clever promotion. If you want to boost your business and really reboot things after the tough period that we've all been through, I think it's a pretty cost-effective bet. Fuelpromo.com.au. If you are the first 8, you get all those bonuses. And look forward to helping you. Thanks very much for being on the webinar. See you next.
Is in the chat.
Sorry, the link's in the chat box as well. But it's Fuel Promo. I can't get an easier to remember. Fuelpromo.com.au. Thanks, guys. And by the way, if there is anything that you've got as a question that you want to ask me in terms of your marketing, I'll give you my private email address. It's john@theinstituteofwow.com. john@theinstituteofwow.com. You don't hand that out too often because you get nuts that just ask you stupid questions, but try to make the question. Yeah, I've just done a nice thing by giving them the link and then I'm calling them nuts. But there are some nuts that ask some silly questions. You know what some idiot said on one of my Facebook lives yesterday, when I'm promoting this webinar. He types in some troll and says, oh yeah, I bet you're running a webinar because you're probably going to sell something. Oh, Sherlock, you are such a genius. No, I'm doing it because I just love people. God almighty. Okay, guys.
The link to the videos, JD, where will they find them?
The link to the videos?
The World of Wow.
What? Sorry, the link to what video?
The link to the videos at the World of Wow.
The link to the videos at the World of Wow. Okay, if you go on to wowmanifesto.com, just wowmanifesto.com, you'll see that $497 program, which I've gifted a few people. I think that's what you might be talking about, wowmanifesto.com, okay? But whilst that provides you with a tutorial of how to put together a marketing plan, you'll see in that tutorial, I'm saying to you, do things like this, do incentive-based marketing like this. If I was you and I was in business at the moment and I was wanting to reboot, I wanted to really kick off again, I would be looking for something like this. If you don't get this one, then look for something like this that is going to be blowing them out of the water. You don't want something that's beige, you want something that's hot pink. And that's just the way it is. I know that sounds self-serving, but our business is called the Institute of Wow, not the Institute of whoa, okay? So if it's not an Elvis found headline, don't bother even doing it. And you're going to be up against some stiff competition out there in this next 4 weeks from your competitors who will be dropping their pants. You don't want to drop their pants. So if you don't take the offer that we're giving you, try and dream one up that's close to it. Good luck. I've been in this for a few decades and I know the ones that win and the ones that haven't. And the ones that win are free holidays and free fuel discounts. By the way, I don't think you need to be convinced if you just walk past 2 supermarkets. One's called Coles and one's called Woolworths. Now, I used to be in the national marketing role of Woolworths and I know just what the fuel discount has done for them. And guess what? It's 4 cents a litre. They're capped at that. You can give away 10, 20, 50 cents up to $1 a litre. Can you imagine the headlines that you can enjoy on Facebook? And guess what? We're paying the first, or Facebook are paying the first $500 of the first month. Can't get much better than that. Okay, guys, all the best. I will see you at the next webinar. We might do these on a regular basis. We might do one, maybe, I don't know, January. If we have the Zoom problems again that we had at the beginning of this effing one, then I'll do one in January 2024, you know. But anyway, we might do one each week. I'll think about that. It's just how quickly I get over the shits of how bad this one launched. Yeah. Okay, guys, all the best. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, JD.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. An applause. An applause from two people in my room, my office. Okay, all the best, guys.